Light a candle, settle into the shadows, and let's begin. In the year 1820, a story slithered out of the misty hollows of upstate New York and sank its teeth into the American soul. Washington Irving called it the legend of Sleepy Hollow. A lanky schoolmaster named Ichabod Crane, a midnight chase through tangled woods, and at the heart of it all, a headless rider clutching a flaming pumpkin like a lantern from hell itself. Children shivered, grown men locked their doors, and every Halloween the tale rose from the grave to haunt another generation. But tonight we pull back the shroud, because what Irving wrote was not the beginning, it was the echo. The true origin of the Headless Horseman stretches back 300 years, across blood-soaked oceans, to a Celtic warlord whose severed head refused to die. Picture this. The year is 1692, not Salem, Massachusetts, where witches burned. No, we sail west, to the jagged coast of Ireland, where the Atlan jaws at cliffs like a starving beast. In County Galway, a warrior named Turlough Ó Conaill rides at the head of a war band. His clan has ruled these hills for centuries. His enemies call him Andúv Gall, the Dark Stranger. His own people whisper a different name, Dullahan, the Headless One. Why? Because in battle, Turlough wears no helmet. He fights bareheaded, his black hair streaming like a banner of death. And when he swings his broadsword, heads roll like apples in autumn. One night after slaughtering a rival chieftain, Turlough lifts the severed head by its hair and laughs. The head laughs back. Its eyes snap open. Its mouth moves. You will ride without me, and I will ride without you. The warriors flee. Turlough does not. He ties the head to his saddle and rides home beneath a moon the color of dried blood. 3 nights later, a storm tears the sky apart. Lightning strikes Turlough's fortress. The head vanishes. So does Turlough's own. His body is found at dawn, slumped over his horse, neck stump cauterized as if by fire. The horse gallops into the mist, carrying nothing but a headless rider. From that night forward, farmers swear they see him on the moors, a black steed, a cloak snapping like raven wings, and where the head should be, only darkness. When the Dullahan passes, he calls a name. If you hear yours, you die before sunrise. The Irish fled. They boarded coffin ships, bound for the New World, carrying the curse in their bones. And in 1698, one of those ships limped into the Hudson River, disgorging survivors into a sleepy Dutch settlement called Tarrytown. The Dutch called the place Slupperik Haven, Sleepy Harbor. The Irish called it something else, Codla an Vas, the sleep of death. They built cabins along the Pocantico River. They told their children bedtime stories about the Dullahan, and they buried their dead in a small churchyard on a hill that would one day become the most haunted graveyard in America. But the curse did not sleep. It waited. It watched, and in 1776, it found the perfect vessel, a Hessian mercenary, a soldier fighting for the British, a man whose head was about to be blown clean off by an American cannonball. His name was lost to history. His grave was not. He was buried in unhallowed ground, right beside the Irish dead, and on Allow's Hallows Eve, 1777, the horse returned, headless, burning, hungry. Washington Irving was only a boy then, but he grew up in Tarrytown. He drank in the tavern where old men spoke of hoofbeats on the old post road. He walked the bridge where Ichabod Crane would one day vanish, and in 1819 he sat down to write a story. He thought he was inventing a ghost tale. He was wrong. He was remembering. Every detail he penned, the pumpkin, the chase, the bridge, had been whispered for a century before his ink touched paper. The Headless Horseman was never his creation. He was its scribe. And tonight, 300 years after Turlough Ó Conaill lost his head, we follow the trail of blood from Galway to Sleepy Hollow. Because the rider is still out there, the pumpkin still burns, and somewhere, in the shadows, he is calling a name.
Let us cross the ocean now. The year is 1698. The ship Mary's Lament drops anchor in the Hudson. Among the passengers, a girl named Siobhan Kelly, barely 16, clutching a rag doll stitched from her mother's burial shroud. Her father was one of Turlough's warriors. He died on the passage, raving about a headless rider galloping across the waves. Siobhan buries him in the churchyard on the hill. She carves a crude horse into his headstone. No one thinks anything of it. Not yet. The Dutch settlers are busy building mills. The Lenape natives are busy vanishing. And the forest is busy growing teeth. Years pass. Siobhan marries a Dutch farmer named Van Tassel. They have a daughter, then a son. The boy is born on All Hallows Eve, 1720. During the birth, the midwife swears she hears hoofbeats outside the window. The baby emerges silent. His eyes are black as peat. They name him Brom, meaning raven in Dutch. Brom grows tall and strong. He loves horses. He loves the night. And every Halloween he rides alone to the old bridge over the Pocantico, the one the Lenape called, place where spirits cross. He returns at dawn, pale, lips sealed. His mother begs him to stop. He cannot. Something calls him, something without a head. In 1735, a surveyor named Ichabod Vandermeer arrives from Albany. He is lanky, superstitious, greedy for land. He courts Brom's sister, Katrina, for her dowry. Brom hates him. One night, at a harvest dance in the Van Tassel barn, Ichabod drinks too much spiced cider. He boasts he fears no ghost. Brom challenges him. Cross the bridge at midnight, alone. Ichabod laughs. He mounts his nag Gunpowder and rides into the fog. The partygoers wait. They hear hoofbeats, then a scream, then nothing. Ichabod Vandermeer is never seen again. His hat is found on the bridge. Beside it, a smashed pumpkin, still smoking. The year is 1735, 85 years before Washington Irving writes a single word. The story spreads. Dutch grandmothers tell it in Low German. Irish servants whisper it in Gaelic. Lenape elders nod knowingly. They say the bridge was built on a mass grave from a smallpox epidemic. The dead are angry. They want heads. In 1750, a British officer named Major Andre is captured near Terrytown. He is hanged as a spy. His body is buried beneath the bridge. Another headless soul. Another layer of curse. By 1776, the Revolutionary War turned Sleepy Hollow into a battlefield. Hessian mercenaries, German soldiers hired by the British, camp in the churchyard. They dig latrines over the graves. They laugh at the local superstitions. On October 31st, 1776, a cannonball fired by American rebels tears through the camp. It takes the head of a Hessian captain. Clean off. His comrades bury the body in a shallow trench. They do not bury the head. They cannot find it. That night, a storm rolls in from the west. Lightning forks above the Pocantico. Farmers bolt their doors. Children hide under quilts. And then they hear it. Hoofbeats. Not the slow clop of a farm horse, the thunder of a war steed. A rider gallops past the churchyard. His cloak billows. His shoulders end in a stump. In his hand, a glowing orange orb. The Hessians run out, muskets raised. The rider turns. Where his face should be, only shadow. He hurls the orb. It explodes against the church door in a shower of sparks. The Hessians scream. By morning, 3 are dead. Their heads missing. The survivors flee. They spread the story up and down the Hudson. The headless Hessian is born. But he is not new. He is ancient. He is Turlough Ó Conaill, reborn in a foreign grave. He is the Dullahan fused with a Lenape death spirit. He is the wrath of every soul disturbed beneath that bridge. And he is patient. He waits for the right storyteller. He waits for Washington Irving. In 1809, Irving visits Sleepy Hollow. He is 30 years old. He walks the bridge at dusk. He hears the hoofbeats. He sees the glow. He does not run. He listens. Old men in the tavern tell him everything. The Irish girl, the vanished surveyor, the headless Hessian, the pumpkin that burns without flame. Irving takes notes. He changes names. He adds humor. He publishes in 1820. The world laughs. The world shudders. The world forgets the truth. But the rider does not forget. He rides every Halloween. He calls a name. And somewhere, in the shadows, he waits for yours.
We must dig deeper now. Beneath the churchyard, beneath the bridge, beneath the stories. In 1920, a team of archaeologists from Columbia University excavates the old Dutch burying ground. They expect to find colonial bones. They find something else. A layer of ash 6 inches thick, dating to 1699. Beneath it, human skulls. Dozens of them, all missing their lower jaws, all facing west, toward Ireland. The Lenape guide with them grows pale. He says the skulls belong to Atratone, soul eaters, spirits who steal faces to wear as masks. The dig is shut down. The skulls vanish. The records are sealed. But the locals remember. In 1954, a boy named Tommy Whitaker sneaks into the graveyard on a dare. He is 12. He carries a flashlight and a Polaroid camera. He finds a stone marked only with a horse. He takes a photo. When the picture develops, there is a rider behind him, headless, arm raised, pumpkin glowing. Tommy runs. He tells his father. His father laughs. Until Halloween night, when Tommy's bed is found empty, his window open, hoofprints in the frost lead to the bridge and stop. Tommy is never found. His Polaroid is locked in the Terrytown Police Evidence Room. Detectives still pull it out on slow nights. The rider is clearer every year. In 1983, the bridge is rebuilt. Construction workers unearth a rusted Hessian saber and a pumpkin seed, perfectly preserved. They plant it as a joke. It grows overnight into a vine that chokes the site. The pumpkins are huge, orange, veined with black. One worker carves a face. The eyes light up. The mouth moves. It whispers his name. He quits the next day. The vine is burned. The ashes are buried. The bridge opens on October 31st. At 3:33 a.m., dash cam footage from a passing truck shows a rider crossing the new concrete. Headless. Burning. Gone in a flash of orange light. The footage is uploaded to YouTube in 2008. It gets 3 million views. The comments are disabled. The uploader vanishes. But the rider is not confined to Sleepy Hollow. In 1999, a trucker in Ohio swerves to avoid a horse on the interstate. The horse has no rider, yet a pumpkin rolls across the dashboard. It bursts into flame. The trucker crashes. He survives. He tells police the pumpkin screamed his childhood nickname.
a name no one has used since he was 6. In 2012, a hiker in the Catskills finds a jack-o'-lantern miles from any trail. It is fresh. The candle inside is still lit. The face carved into it is his own. He takes a photo. When he develops it, the pumpkin is smiling. He deletes the file. The smile stays in his dreams. These are not coincidences. They are signatures. The Dullahan does not haunt places. He haunts bloodlines. Every descendant of the Mary's Lament passengers carries the mark, a birthmark shaped like a horse, a nightmare of galloping hooves, a whisper in the dark that knows their true name. In 2023, a DNA project traces 412 living Americans to the 1698 ship. On Halloween, 23 of them report the same dream, a rider on a bridge, holding their own severed head. They wake with nosebleeds. Their pillows smell of smoke. The rider is closer now. He has crossed oceans. He has crossed centuries. He has crossed into the digital age. And he has help. Every time you watch a Sleepy Hollow movie, every time you carve a pumpkin, every time you laugh at the legend, you feed him. The pumpkin is not a weapon. It is a lantern. It lights his path. It burns with the souls he has collected. And every year, on All Hallows Eve, he adds one more. The bridge in Sleepy Hollow is just the doorway. The real hunt happens in your mirror at 3:33 a.m., when the candle flickers, when the shadows stretch, when you hear hoofbeats and realize they match your heartbeat. That is when he calls your name, not to kill you, to claim you, to ride with him forever, headless, burning, hungry.
We return to the bridge. The year is 1809. Washington Irving stands alone on the wooden planks. The Pocantico rushes below, black as ink. He has come to say goodbye to a friend who died in a duel. He has come to forget. But the night has other plans. The moon is a sliver, the air smells of wood smoke and wet leaves. Irving lights a pipe. The match flares. In that instant, he sees him, the rider, across the river, on the far bank, cloak snapping, horse pawing the earth. No head, only shadow. In the rider's hand, a pumpkin. It pulses like a heart. Irving freezes. The rider raises the pumpkin. The flame inside turns green. Irving hears his name, not spoken, felt, in his bones. He drops the pipe. He runs. He does not stop until he reaches the tavern. He never tells anyone what he saw, but he starts writing the next day. The story he publishes is a mask. Ichabod Crane is not a schoolmaster. He is Irving. The chase is not fiction. It is memory. The pumpkin is not a prop. It is a warning. And the bridge? The bridge is a threshold. Cross it at midnight on Halloween, and you step out of time. In 1931, a novelist named H.P. Lovecraft visits Sleepy Hollow. He is researching a story about gates between worlds. He crosses the bridge at 11:59 p.m. He returns at dawn, hair white, eyes wild. He burns his notes. He writes only one line in his journal. The rider is not dead. He is the door. Lovecraft dies 7 years later. His last words? Don't say my name. In 1973, the bridge is struck by lightning. The wooden planks burn. Firefighters arrive to find the flames, orange, shaped like a horse. They hose it down. The water turns to steam. The horse gallops into the sky. The bridge is rebuilt with steel. The steel rusts overnight. In the rust, hoofprints.
In 1994, a paranormal team sets up cameras on the bridge. They capture a thermal image, a rider, 98.6 degrees, where no heat should be. The timestamp, 3:33 a.m. The footage is analyzed by NASA. They cannot explain it. They classify it. The lead investigator quits. He moves to Arizona. Every Halloween, he receives a pumpkin in the mail. No return address. The carving is his face. The pumpkins are the key. In 1699, Siobhan Kelly plants a garden behind her cabin. She grows squash to feed her children. One vine produces a single fruit, orange, heavy, veined with black. She carves it for All Hallows' Eve. She places a candle inside. The candle will not extinguish, not in wind, not in rain, not when submerged in the river. She buries the pumpkin in the churchyard. It grows into a tree. The tree bears one fruit every year, on October 31st. The fruit is picked by unseen hands. The tree is still there. Locals call it the Devil's Lantern. They will not go near it. Satellites have imaged it from space. The thermal signature is a rider. In 2019, a TikTok user films the tree at night. The video goes viral. 50 million views. The user is doxxed, harassed. On Halloween, they live stream from the bridge. At 3:33 a.m., the stream cuts to static. When it returns, the user is gone. The camera shows only the bridge and a pumpkin, rolling slowly toward the lens. The chat explodes. Then the account is deleted. The video is scrubbed from the internet, but screenshots remain. In every screenshot, the pumpkin's eyes follow you. The rider is evolving. He no longer needs the bridge. He rides fiber optic cables. He gallops through Wi-Fi signals. He whispers through Alexa devices. In 2024, a smart doorbell in Seattle captures him at 3:33 a.m. The homeowner is asleep. The doorbell rings. The footage shows a horse on the porch. No rider. A pumpkin sits on the welcome mat. It is carved with the homeowner's SSN. The homeowner moves. The new tenants receive the same pumpkin every year. The rider is everywhere now. He is in your phone. He is in your reflection. He is in the pause between heartbeats. And he is almost done waiting.
This is the final shadow. The year is 2025. Tonight, you are reading this, or listening. The candle flickers, the screen glows, and somewhere, hoofbeats. Soft at first, then louder. They match the rhythm of your pulse. You think it is imagination. It is not. The writer has found you. He has always been coming. From Turlough's battlefield in 1692, to Siobhan's garden in 1699, to the Hessian's grave in 1776, to Irving's pen in 1820, to your screen in 2025. The pumpkin burns brighter now. It knows your name, not the one on your birth certificate, the one your mother whispered when you were born, the one you forgot, the one only the dead should know. In Sleepy Hollow, the bridge is closed tonight. Police tape flutters in the wind. A sign reads, "Structural inspection." It is a lie. The real reason is classified. At 3:33 a.m., a drone flies over. It captures a thermal bloom, a horse, a rider, a pumpkin. The drone crashes. The footage is recovered. Frame by frame, the rider turns. Where his head should be, your face. Reflected, distorted, screaming. The file corrupts. The technician who views it hangs himself. His suicide note, "He took my name." You feel it now. The air grows cold. The shadows stretch. Your phone buzzes. A notification.
unknown sender, a single emoji, a pumpkin. You open it. The screen fills with orange light. A voice, not human, whispers your true name. You have never heard it before, yet you know it is yours. The screen cracks. The crack forms a horse. The horse gallops. The pumpkin rolls. It stops at your feet. You look down. You are not in your room. You are on the bridge. The wood is old. The river rushes below. The rider waits. He extends a hand. No head. Only darkness. The pumpkin floats between you. Its flame is your heartbeat. You have a choice. Run, and he will chase, forever. Stand, and he will take, not your life, your name, your face, your place in the story. You will ride with him, headless, burning, collecting. The cycle will continue. Another storyteller will warn, another screen will glow, another candle will flicker, and the shadows will wait. Or you can speak. Say the name he lost, the name that started it all. Turlough Ó Conaill. Say it aloud. Break the chain. The pumpkin will extinguish. The rider will crumble. The bridge will vanish. You will wake in your bed. The candle will be cold. The screen will be dark. But you will remember, and you will warn others. Most do not speak. They run. They ride. They burn. Their pumpkins light the way for the next. But you are different. You listened to the end. You read every word. You felt the hoofbeats. You saw the flame. So speak. Now. Before 3:33 a.m., before the pumpkin rolls, before the rider calls. Say the name. Turlough Ó Conaill. Say it 3 times. Let the shadows hear. Let the curse end. Let the candle die. The rider waits. The pumpkin burns. The bridge creaks. Your voice is the only weapon. Use it. Or join him. The choice is yours. The shadows are patient. But the night? The night is almost over. Speak or ride. Forever.